Hey everyone, today's video recap will be nowadays one of the most trending and popular American drama romance film of 2022. It is Falling for Christmas. The film was directed by Janine Damian, in her first time at the helm, from a screenplay by Jeff Bonnet and Ron Oliver. As regards the storyline, it spins around Sierra Belmont, a young lady who has lost her recollections and has distinguished herself in something else entirely. She is the little girl of a well-known man named Mr. Beauregard Belmont, yet she wishes to make her own personality on the planet. Falling for Christmas portrays her excursion to depict the way that falling in affection transformed her way of life, permitting her to get out of her dad's shadow and assume command over her own predetermination. It stars Lindsay Lohan, with Harmony Overstreet, George Youthful, Jack Wagner and Olivia Perez showing up in supporting jobs. This was a brief introduction to film, and now let's begin to dive into the plot and enjoy watching. Likes and subscriptions are highly appreciated. Sierra Belmont was the well-off beneficiary of a hotel claimed by her dad, Mr. Beauregard. Sierra sought to be independent as opposed to carrying on with the existence of a ruined rascal. She was dating a man named Smidgen, featured by George Young, who was more into online entertainment than her. Sierra was fed up with having such countless parental figures around her, however she was unable to deny them since it was her dad's choice. Then again, a hotelier named Jake Russell, featured by Cord Overstreet, moved toward Mr. Belmont. Jake believed him should put resources into his North Star Inn, as he was having a serious asset emergency. Yet, Belmont turned down his proposition. Coming back from Belmont's Inn, he coincidentally found Sierra and some way or another got away from the quarrel. Jake was in a terrible circumstance where he expected to collect a cash to save his inn, so he requested that his little girl Avi request that Shanta do a supernatural occurrence for them. Avi went to the Christmas market with her grandmother and made a wish. Mr. Belmont was acquainted with Sierra and Tad meanwhile, yet he didn't appear to like Tad by any stretch of the imagination. The next day, Sierra and Tad chose to go skiing, while Mr. Belmont left town till Christmas. Tad accompanied Sierra to the highest point of a frosty slope, where he proposed to her. Sierra consented to the proposition, however similarly as they were going to head back, a cold snowstorm cleared in. The two of them went down the incline, and Sierra slammed her head against a tree and dropped. Tad, be that as it may, got lost and wound up at a neighborhood man's cottage. Jake acted the hero, and he took her to a close-by clinic. She was fine generally speaking, despite the fact that she experienced difficulty recalling things. Jake took her to his lodging since he would have rather not let her there be. At the point when she showed up at the inn, she met Avi and immediately became partial to her. Since she was unable to try and recall her own name, Avi gave her the new name Sarah. She began to figure out how to do housework, yet before long found she wasn't generally excellent at it. In any case, sooner, she started to learn things and help Jake and his loved ones. All she could recollect was the amount she cherished her mom. At the point when Jake carried Sierra and his little girl to the market, they experienced the normal, worn-out person who had all the earmarks of being Santa Claus and satisfied everybody's desires. Later in the film, it uncovered Avi's desire was and whether Santa Claus genuinely satisfied it. Falling for Christmas likewise shows how Sierra's memory returned and how she changed into a totally different individual. Sierra, who had completely lost her recollections, started to turn into something else entirely at Jake's Inn, the North Star. She had forgotten her rich way of life, as well as her dad and darling. She could review her mom since she had missed her to such an extent. Nonetheless, she was impacted by the deficiency of her mom, so she could recollect her face. Jake gave him the very new snow globe that her mom had once given her. Therefore, Sierra began to succumb to Jake. That's what she grasped, assuming she had met Jake before. She couldn't have ever forgotten him. In the inn, she figured out how to live all alone. She figured out how to be independent by preparing her own feasts and making her own bed. She felt so freed from getting things done all alone, something that she had been absent in her dad's palace. She valued Jake and his family's help and hoped everything would turn out great for to help them as. Sierra gained from Jake's mother by marriage that Jake's better half had kicked the bucket, and the misfortune had been torturing him from that point forward, with consequences for the business. Sierra chose to help Jake and mentioned that he set up a party and welcome all of their likely funders. Jake at first could have done without the thought, yet later came to see the value in it. He adhered to Sierra's directions and coordinated a party where countless past clients showed up for a Christmas festivity. The clients, then again, needed to assist Jake with raising his asset, and, surprisingly, the city chairman declared his lodging as a verifiable spot. Mr. Belmont, then again, got back to town and started searching for his little girl. At last, the neighborhood police informed him of Sierra's whereabouts and carried him to Jake's inn. Sierra remembered everything in the wake of seeing her dad and Tad. She was upset for leaving Jake and his family along these lines, however she had no way out. She got back to her dad and later gave a meeting where she lauded Jake's assistance in saving her. She felt her life had changed since that day. She could make her own bed, which she had never finished, and she even surrendered her planner garments. She picked a basic way of life and, surprisingly, turned down her dad's proposal to turn into the lodging's VP. She wanted to carry on with her life based on her conditions and rejected Tad's engagement proposition since she had previously gone gaga for Jake. Toward the start of the film, when Jake got back to his inn in the wake of being dismissed by Mr. Belmont, he advised his girl Avi to appeal to God for him, trusting that something supernatural would happen this Christmas that could save his inn. Avi made a wish, however it didn't have anything to do with the lodging. She believed that his dad should find an accomplice who could fix his issues in general. As she made her desire, the elderly person at the market heard her and allowed her desire. Jake met Sierra, with whom he fell head over heels, however couldn't communicate his sentiments. At the point when Sierra recuperated her recollections and got back to her dad's lodging, Jake acknowledged the amount he missed her. Along these lines, he surged towards Sierra to communicate his sentiments. Sierra was excited to meet Jake on the grounds that she had recently denied Tad and decided to assume command over her own life. The two of them kissed and communicated their inclinations toward each other. They in the end got together, and Avi's desire was allowed. The elderly person at the market was a mysterious Santa in Sierra and Jake's lives. He heard their desires and made them materialize without them knowing. Through its story, Falling for Christmas attempts to depict how Sierra had turned into something else entirely and adjusted to her conditions, notwithstanding experiencing childhood in a well-off house. She was carrying on with a prosperous and extravagant way of life, yet within, she had forever been an empathetic individual who esteemed sentiments and energy more than cash. Her internal identity was fragile and straightforward, so she needed to investigate herself to know precisely very thing she wanted. Therefore, her cognitive decline filled in as a flash in her life, persuading her to find her actual self. She understood she wasn't some ruined rascal, yet rather a human with a good nature. Thus, she surrendered her honors and needed to carry on with an unassuming existence with somebody she really cherished. That is the means by which Jake and Sierra's romantic tale recommends that affection is more remarkable than every one of the world's materialistic extravagances. Cash can give one every one of the comforts on the planet, yet it can never give the glow of a human heart that one feels when they are around somebody who loves one profoundly and earnestly. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the film. My major motivation is your support, so please don't forget to like the videos and subscribe to my channel for more videos and updates.